Okay, so I just wanted to make a quick video giving my thoughts on Fast and Furious 10, or if you prefer, Fast X. I knew they were going to do it, from the moment they talked about doing a 10th movie, I knew they wouldn't be able to resist doing Fast X. They wouldn't use 10. They'd go with a Roman numeral. It has to be X. And they didn't disappoint. But my God, what absolute nonsense this movie is. It's insanity. It's something, the progressively being, more and more the pushing the envelope over the top. But something's happened, when we got into 9, obviously nine's weird. And this one continues that weirdness, in the sense you're looking and saying, what the hell's that? But I absolutely adored it. Okay, why is this movie almost 2.5 hours? But yeah, Fast 9 was ridiculous, and it continues here. Again, you can tell Vin Diesel's ego is just out of control in these movies now. And it's glorious to watch. This at this point, the Fast and Furious franchise has become a choose your own adventure / choose your own continuity, because they're just making up their own rules at this point. They're making up rules and they're forgetting about rules as and when it's convenient for them. If we need to introduce a character out of nowhere, or reintroduce a character to suit our needs, or if we just need to conveniently ignore something that's happened in a previous movie, it doesn't matter. We can just do whatever we want. But here's the thing, because they don't care. They don't even care. They're playing by their own rules. But at the same time, you can tell that these guys really love what they're doing. So they don't care, but they do. And you've got to love them for it. But again, this is absolute nonsense at this point. They're not even trying to restrain themselves or maintain any semblance of believability. But it's such a joy to watch. Jason Momoa as the villain in this. My God, he's in a completely different movie. He's basically playing Jack Nicholson's Joker in this, and it's glorious. Obviously Tyrese and Ludacris, great as always. Sung Kang obviously came back in 9, and is obviously great in this as well. He looks good, man. It was a mistake having the short hair in 9, but the hair's but hey, look who's talking. The hair's back with a vengeance in this, and it's magnificent. But Sung Kang, he's looking good, very very good. And it just obviously Statham. The stuff with Statham's hilarious, because Statham's barely in this movie. Almost all the scenes he's in are in the trailer, and the fight there's a fight that breaks out between him and Han, and it's basically a ridiculous misunderstanding that Statham's character jumps the gun like you wouldn't believe. It's I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, because I heard that there was going to be a fight, and I was thinking, Han, I love Han. He's a terrible fighter, so I thought, hang on a second, if Han's going into this wanting to fight Statham, that's a very bad idea. But when it works out, it's like, no, Han doesn't want to fight, Statham's on the offense. So it makes sense, because I'm just trying to think, Han, there's no way that this is going to work out for you, buddy. But it doesn't make sense, but Oh, talking about stuff that doesn't make sense, the fight that happens in this movie between Charlize Theron and Michelle Rodriguez, when it happens, it comes out of nowhere. Because the reason they start fighting, I don't know why this. I mean, fair enough. These two characters, there's a lot of bad blood between. But when you look, when the fight starts in the film, the content it comes out of nowhere, and you're like, what brought this on? Yeah, it's a great fight. I mean, Michelle Rodriguez has had some great fight scenes in obviously the fight she has with Gina Carano in 6. And then in 8, the fight that she has with that Russian heavy. You know, when she kicks him over the balcony and falls into that propeller blade and then the Rock comes in and goes, oh, nasty. So she's done something. And the great thing about Michelle Rodriguez, she's great with acting and she's believable. And Charlize Theron obviously worked very hard on Atomic Blonde, so she's very good with the action stuff. I'll say this about Charlize Theron as well. This is probably the most I've. She's another one. She's not in this movie a lot, but this is probably the most I've liked her. And if we're talking about cosmetics and looks, oh boy, howdy, they did her a tremendous injustice in number 9. I don't know what happened there. Honestly, she looks the way she looks in this one, honestly, it's probably the best she's looked. Well, in the context of the Fast and Furious movies. Yeah, so that was it's nice to see them being kind to her in that sense. I mean, obviously they really did her an injustice in that 9th one. I don't know what was going on. John Cena in this movie. Oh man, you talk about guys. Obviously, Jason Momoa is in a completely different movie. John Cena in this is in a totally different movie. He's just in full on John Cena mode. He really is. He's just being his goofy self, but it's great. Because most of Cena, it's a lot of Cena and Vin Diesel's son together, and the back and forth between them is great. It's really nice. But yeah, obviously this movie's nonsense. It absolutely is. Leave your brain at the door. I mean, you know what you're getting with the Fast and Furious movies now, but obviously something happened in 9 where obviously, not even you could have seen all of the Fast and Furious movies up until 9, and it wouldn't have prepared you, and it continues on here, but honestly, it's a blast. Again, no one's going to accuse this movie of being a good movie or a great movie, but it's a joy. And seeing it on the big screen, the spectacle. Yeah. But that pretty much wraps this up. Again, just absolute nonsense, but I absolutely adored it. And again, just I can't wait for the next. Obviously, they've said this is going to lead into, it's going to be a 2-part. Well, they said initially it's going to be a 2-part, so you're going to get 10 and 11. Now they've said, oh, this is the first movie in a new trilogy, so it looks as though we're going to get an 11 and 12 after this as well. So, bring it. Just bring it. Honestly, if they kept making Fast and Furious movies for the rest of time, I don't mind. I never want to see another goddamn Marvel movie after the shenanigans in recent years. Although I will say I am, seeing Hugh Jackman back in Deadpool 3. That's going to be good, and I want the Fantastic Four movie to be good. I'm holding out hope for that one. I want to be optimistic for that one, but after that, but yeah, honestly, keep just Fast and Furious. Just keep making them. Keep making, whether you do the main franchise or if you want to do more spin-offs like Hobbs and Shaw 2, or they keep talking about the all-female spin-off, or give me a Tyrese and Ludacris spin-off, or after what we saw the couple of minutes we saw, give us a Han and Shaw movie for God's sake. But honestly, that wraps this up. It was a joy. Absolute insanity, but I loved it anyway. You know what you're getting at this point, and you know if that's what you want to see or not. So I'll leave it there. Thank you for indulging me. I hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.